Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Real Talk Journeys of Resilience and Success. And today we are on episode 28. So, the topic for today is how one nurse and a mom found freedom through a digital business. And our guest today is Sofia Javier. So, she will be joining us in a few minutes. But before we dive into our topic, let me introduce myself. So, hi, everyone. My name is Sandy. I'm originally from Panama, but according to reside in Surrey, British Columbia, Canada. I also work in the movie industry and I'm a proud digital business owner and mentor. I also wanted to mention that every Tuesdays and every Thursdays we have our live webinars. So if you want to learn how you can start your online business and start earning online, all you have to do is register in the website that appear on the screen with your name and email address, and I'll send you that invitation to watch the webinar. So when you register into my website, you will receive an email that will contain two links. So the first one is to register for the live webinar. That link will take you to a page that will have two buttons, one for Tuesday and one for Thursday, because those are the days that we have our live webinar. And it happens every Tuesday and Thursday at 5 p.m. PST and 8 p.m. EST. Um, so when you register, you can choose you can register for either one or for both. And the second link that you get there is the replay of the live webinar. So just in case you cannot attend to the live webinar, that's not a problem. You can always catch the replay and watch it from the comfort of your own home. Now, I also invite you to our private Facebook group where you get to see more success stories from members of our community and also more information about the business. Now, you're probably wondering, okay, so I go to the website, I put my name and email address, and then I register for the live webinar. So, what am I going to see on the live webinar? So, on the live webinar, you're going to find out how our online business plan works. And also, you get the chance to hear from the panelists, which are members of our community, who will be sharing with you why they decided to start their online business and how this online business has transformed their lives. So, let's find out who were the hosts and panelists for yesterday's live webinar. Okay, so yesterday our hosts were Emeka and Ife. So there, one is project manager and the other one is engineer. Our first panelist is Regina. She's a registered nurse. We also have Tammy, a hairstylist. We have Nakila, a former early child educator, and we have Adeola, a former civil, I think it is, servant. So as you see, we have different walks of life. They all decided to take that leap of faith to change their life and their family's lives. So, and I think some of them are from Canada and some of them from the US, but also we have Adiola, who is from Nigeria. So, as you see, we are globally. But we all, we're a global online community where they all decided to take that leap of faith to change their lives. And this online business opportunity is helping so many people around the globe to change their lives. So that's the movement that we have here, movement to be able to help more people change their life and see that they have better options than the 9 to 5. So our replays have subtitles in several languages, and our live webinar has subtitles in 5 languages: the Spanish, French, Tagalog, Vietnamese, and Arabic. Okay, so now you know. So if you want to catch the replay from yesterday's live webinar, all you have to do is register on the website and you're going to be able to hear their testimonial, where they're going to be sharing why they decided to start their online business and how this online business has transformed their lives. Sorry. Okay. Um, so like we mentioned, we are today on episode 28. So how one nurse and mom found freedom through digital business. So our guest is Sofia Javier. So before I bring her, let me give you a little introduction about her. So I'm very excited to introduce today's incredible guest, Sofia. She's an ICU nurse, proud mom of two little ones, so age 1 and 3, and a wife to a fellow nurse. So Sofia is originally from the Philippines and has been living in the US for over 20 years, now calling Texas home. While caring for others in the hospital, she also made the bold decision to start her own digital business. So today, she's not only a dedicated healthcare professional, but also a passionate business owner and mentor, creating more freedom and impact for her family and beyond. Her journey is a true example of heart, hustle, and purpose. So get ready to be inspired. So let's bring Sofia to the studio. Hi, Sofia. Thank you for coming. Oh, you're muted. Sorry.
Sorry. Hello, everybody. I want to thank Sandy for taking your time to interview me, and hello to everybody who are watching live and will be watching this replay.
Yes, thank you so much. So, would you like to introduce yourself to the audience?
Yes. So my name is Sofia Javier. Like Sandy said, I am an ICU nurse by trade. I've been a nurse for the last 14 years, and I have dedicated my heart and my soul and my well being, everything to nursing. I am a nurse through and through. And I am a mother of two little ones, 1 year old and a 3 year old, and a wife to a nurse as well. So I've been, like Sandy said, I've been living in the US for the last 20 years, and I have called Texas my home in the last good 10 years of that. So, and I am very excited to be here, and thank you so much again for having me.
Thank you so much for accepting the invitation and sharing your journey with the audience and with
You're
me.
welcome. You're welcome.
Okay, so let's start with the questions. Um, okay, so Sophia, you and your husband have worked tirelessly as nurses for years. What was the moment that made you realize you needed something more, something different from the traditional path you were on?
Um, the I love nursing. My husband and I love nursing. It had given us a comfortable life. It had given us a lot. It had allowed us to travel, live comfortably as nurses with the income that it had provide and the stability that it had provide. However, we became parents, and that changed everything, right? Um, the priority of um, change. It's the kids. That's our priority. And with being a parent, it doesn't seem like there's enough time at all. You're juggling so many things, and yet, as nurses, since both of us are ICU nurses, um, we are required in the minimum of working 3 times a week. So, with us being nurses and no child care or no family, nor a family nearby to help us with our kids, and we don't necessarily believe in putting our kids in daycare. We want to be hands-on parents. Then that involves us working opposite schedule. So he would do 3 in a row, I would do the next 3 in a row. And as a family together, we would only do 1 day altogether. And so with that, there's milestones that are being missed because we are in the hospital taking care of people who are sick, um, and that was the moment. Really, it's the milestones of our kids that's the most important to us, and we want to be present and we want to be hands on, because they're only young ones.
Mm-hmm.
So I my husband and I want to have more time, and yes, it will give us 4 days out of the week individually, But as a family, that's only one day that
Yeah.
it's going to give us. So it's either one of us don't work, then you're down to one income. So it's always been being employed is not really family friendly when you are employed by somebody else. But having your own business, you get to set your own time, you are your own boss, you get to decide your priority. And for us, our priority is our kids and our family. So and this digital business has given us and been so grateful that has given us the time to actually enjoy the little moments with our kids, um, and me allowing me to be PRN as needed, to work still as bedside, um, but not full time with overtime anymore. So it has been a blessing to us, and I will never ever look back.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And I totally understand you. I have family that are in the medical field, so I don't understand, like the need that, like the schedule also changes. It's not really like a fixed schedule. Um, so you now your priority, before it was okay, but now that you have kids, your priorities change. Your priorities, your kids, your family. Be present there for every milestone.
Mm. Yeah.
So, and I do get that. For example, like I had a friend who was kind of like in the same similar situation as you,
Mhm.
but they were working I guess, every day. And but the thing is, like one will work during the day and one will work during the nighttime. So one of her daughter was asking all the time, Mom, why is it that when you come, Daddy leaves and vice versa. And she was keeping asking her the same question all over until she finally decided I need to do something. And that's when, she found this online business opportunity that changed that for her. And same
Mhm.
as you, you didn't want to miss any milestones. Especially, the kids grow so fast,
Yeah.
and you want to be present for every milestone. Especially, at the end of the year, they have those Christmas school presentations, and they want their parents to be there. They're usually looking through the crowd like, oh, wait, do I see my mom, my dad? So yeah, so that was a very smart move that you did, to be able to build that um, financial stability, first, to be able to be fully present for your family, your kids, and not missing any milestones, and be able to have that family bonding.
Yeah.
But because, as you mentioned, you only had one day to be
Yeah.
able to have that family bonding, because the other days was only one person staying with the kids. Uh,
Mhm.
so yeah, so that's thank you for sharing that, because I'm pretty sure that a lot of people out there will relate to you when it comes to that, because once you are working, you really don't have that flexibility, to be able to say, like, if you need to take your kid to, for example, doctor's appointment,
Yeah.
you need to ask for permission. Uh,
Exactly.
in this case, like, if for you nurses, like, if you don't work, you don't get paid for that day. So if you're taking that day off, so that's the other thing.
Exactly.
That's kind of similar to my industry too. I work in the film industry, so when I don't work, I don't get paid either. So
Hmm. Yes, and it's being employed. It almost, as a mother, anyways, it almost being employed and as an employee by somebody else, it almost sometimes feel like they're punishing you for being a mother, because when your child gets sick, you have to get permission, right?
mhm,
And they don't like it when you call in because it interrupt the business, right?
yeah,
But so the priority is always been the business. It's never been the person and what is, is going on in their lives, which I understand business is business, but
Mhm.
we also have life outside. That's why the beauty of this business is that you get to control that, right?
Yeah.
Because it's it's amazing to have that control and not have to ask permission to
Hmm.
be with your family when they need it, to be with with your family when they're sick.
Hmm.
So it's an amazing feeling to have a business that you can call actually your own and you run it your own.
Yeah. Your own shots.
Yep, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, because there might be some bosses. Like I've been lucky, that I have bosses that were condescent. I don't know if that's the
Mhm,
right word, but that they were that allow me, to take some time off to go to a doctor's appointment and then come back to work. But
mhm.
many bosses out there, they are not that way. So
No,
if you don't come, then you don't get paid that day.
exactly.
So yeah, it's really hard, especially for moms, like you mentioned,
Mhm,
to be able to have that flexibility and to be able to have a boss that will understand that, your kid is sick. It's nothing that you can do. I mean, it's not like you have to be there for your kid, to be able to take care of him or
mhm,
her, to take him to the doctor's appointment, or sometimes, you have to take care of them at home.
mhm,
So having this online business, like you mentioned, you are the one in control of your time. You are the one in control of, if you want to take this time off, it's fine, because your business adapt to your schedule and not the other way around. So that's
exactly.
the beauty of this. So it gives
Exactly.
you that flexibility and that possibility of be fully present for your kids when every time, but especially more when they need you most, when they're sick, and now you don't have to ask permission anymore.
Exactly.
You are your own boss, so
Exactly.
you
I am my own boss.
yes. Yeah. So we have a comment here from Joseph Kitashani. He say hi Joseph, thank
Hello
you for your
there.
um and we also have a like emoji from English literacy, and also a heart emoji from Elisa Sony. So thank you
Hi,
for
thank
the
you
heart
for
emoji
tuning
and like
in.
emoji. Yeah. Okay, second question for you. Um, so you mentioned this year's tax season felt completely different, okay? So can you walk us through how becoming a digital business owner changed not just the numbers, but how you felt walking out of the tax office?
Oh my gosh. This year's tax season have been the best so far. Mind you, I've been employed um, since I was 16. And I have been working since I was 16. And, like more than, it's about more than half of my life. And I've never, yes, the financial is good. The financial part is good. And especially when I became a nurse, we work so hard. And yet every single year during tax season, I always dread it because it's either I'm breaking even,
Mhm.
paying up. The highest that my husband and I have paid is about $10,000 of taxes,
Wow. Wow.
or we'll get 1,000, 2,000 back, right?
Mhm.
And every single year, it's always that, oh my gosh, it's tax season again. Always dread, like dreading filing it. And always I have my my W2 at the end of January, and yet I seem to file at the very 2 days before the deadline, because I really just dread how much I'm paying, how little I'm getting. And that's always been the feeling. Mind you, I've been a nurse for the last 14 years, and this has been the feeling exactly every single year. I just dread it. But this 2024 filing season, tax season, it was my first year being a digital business. And with the digital business that we have, the business model we have, we use attraction marketing. With the attraction marketing, it entails us being the brand of the business, and we attract the people who are attracted to our lifestyle and the way we run our business, and that is through posting in social media. So with regards to taxing, that entails a lot of things. So all of the normal business owners expenses are tax write-off because we are tax legit business
Mm-hmm.
and tax registered to any country. So that means a lot of those, whether it's a supply, it's the startup capital, it's the clothes that we wear, when we are in, since it's social media, it's all tax write off. And a lot more, like the trips that we take, since we use attraction marketing and lifestyle marketing, all of those are tax write off as part of our business model. So a lot of those was, um, when you tally it up at the end of the year and you are presenting it to your accountant, say, oh my gosh, that's how much I have invested in my business. And it's 100% write off. And I have always called it as ridiculously amazing because I don't know how all of these billionaires are not paying taxes. I understand how they're doing it because of owning a business allows you to do all of that tax write off.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, since we use social media and the lifestyle marketing, everything that we post online, it's pretty much tax write off. And that shows the receipt to IRS, to whatever, taxing body that your government uses. And it's amazing. And so when I filed that tax, mind you, this is also 2 days before the deadline. I have always been in that thing because I just dread it. It's my first year filing as a business owner and as a nurse. And I don't know what would be the outcome, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because when we join this business, they tell us about the whole tax write off, but I don't know exactly how is that going to play out. What will my accountant tell me? But when I walk out of that tax office, and she gave me the numbers that I was getting, which was 1 year's worth of mortgage payment. Let that sink in. I don't live in a little box, okay, in Texas. I don't. I have a 4 bedroom, 3 bath house. 1 year's worth of mortgage payment.
That's a lot. Yeah.
I cried. I cried as soon as I got out of the tax office because I've never seen that much in a tax at all. And thanks to this business, it had given me that for the whole year, our mortgage is now paid. When people who are employees are living paycheck to paycheck,
Mm-hmm.
are barely getting by to pay for their bills, let alone putting roof over their head and for their families. And yet, this business has given me a whole year worth of security. So it's relieving is the feeling that I get, and still disbelieve sometimes, that I actually, how powerful this business is and being a business owner. And that's why, I mean, it's one of the reasons I always say, and it might be repetitive, I will never ever look back.
Mm-hmm.
Once you've seen benefits like this, and I have a lot more benefits that I have experienced on top of, the time that I get to spend, the flexibility that comes with this. I get to spend the moments with my kids and my husband, all of that, and then the financial aspect of it to as a cherry on top. No brainer. No brainer. And I'm so glad i I took that leap of faith, because I would have not experienced it without that, and it opened so many things for us.
Yes. Thank you so much for sharing that. And this is good to show that this is one of the benefits that you get as a business owner. Because many times, when we start this journey, we are thinking about the financial part of it. But once we are inside, like you mentioned, you realize that there's so many other benefits that you get. Starting by what we talked in the previous points, the flexibility of that, having the time to be able to be there fully present for your kids, something that before you couldn't be spending that family time bond, as you wanted to. You only had one day before, and now this, um, be able to have money come back to you at the end of the year, like you were mentioning, every year, it was like, oh my god, do I have to pay, or would I get something? Thinking all that at the end of the year, every time that you needed to do your taxes. But this year, 2024, it was a different year for you. You got to see the one of the benefits that you get as a business owner. Instead of paying back, you were getting money back, and like you mentioned, that is equivalent to 1 year of paying your mortgage. So that's a lot. And you mentioned, the size of your home, so it's not like a small mortgage. It's a big mortgage. So yeah, so that's amazing, and that's one of the things that, like as a business owner, you have expenses that you can claim at the end, and if you're working, that will bring you down your taxes that you, for example, like you had to pay before because of the expenses of the business. It will bring you down, so instead of you paying, you're getting back.
Mm-hmm.
And that's very amazing. So thank you for
Yes,
that, because
yes.
that's.
And people get scared about investing in the
Mhm.
business. And when you invest, it's 100% tax write off.
Yeah.
And they don't think that. They would think that they don't need to invest. You still have to invest. There's no business that you don't invest. You either invest your time, you invest your money, because
Mhm.
if those two is not in there and they say that you are making money in this business, it's a scam. It's a
Yeah.
scam. I'm telling you, it's a scam, because there is no business that doesn't invest any time
Mhm.
or and money.
Yeah. Yeah,
Hmm.
totally agree with you. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that. So people get to see, that besides, we're talking about the benefits, but also we're talking about being a legit business, because to be able to file your taxes, file your expenses of the business, it has to be a legit business. Otherwise, people wouldn't be doing that. So that's another proof that, this is a legit business. It's a good opportunity for anyone that is watching out there, especially, those who are parents, to be able to be present, fully present for your kids, um, so you don't missing any milestones, and at the same time you're building that financial stability. and and this business not only gives you that, but also, you creating that legacy, not only financially, which is like you can pass this business to your kids, but also the legacy of your kids seeing what you're doing as an entrepreneur and feeling inspired by you, and saying, like, well, if my mom was able to learn all these new things that is not her career, so can I. So if you have dreams, you can achieve your dreams. So that's the other legacy that you will leave to your kids, besides, the financial part of it. So
Totally
and
agree.
yeah, and this business, besides the other benefits, is that you learn so many new things. You don't need any skills to be able to start your online business, because everything is provided to you. The knowledge. There's video-based training that you can do on at your own pace, and also, all the tools that we have, the automated tools, which also help us, to be able to have that business working for us behind the scenes. So that's the amazing
Yes,
thing.
and an example of that automated tool was I was sleeping yesterday, and I because I worked nights, and I was sleeping during the day, and I woke up with an email that said I had a huge blessing that was waiting for me coming from the business. Mind you, I've been sleeping, and
Yeah.
yet my business is still running. So,
Yes.
and that is the one of the beauty of this business, and it's really the power of automation.
Yes. Yeah, it saves you time, instead of being fully present 24 hours. The business works 24 hours, but you're not working 24 hours.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay. Let's go to the third question for you. So, for other mom, nurses, and immigrants who are watching and wondering if this is really worth it, what would you say to them from your own experience?
100%. 100%. No doubt. No doubt about it. I mean, just when I started this business, it was really, I was searching for some change. I'm searching for some change. And when I took that leap of faith, I immediately felt that relief that the answer is here. It's amazing. And this smile that I have, the smile that Sandy has, this is not fake. This is because deep inside, this is how we feel now because of what this business have done for us. You know, as a nurse, we work so hard. We are one of the most underpaid, underappreciated, and overworked employees. We are the most vital in healthcare. And yes, and yet we are the most under of everything, right? Backbreaking. And how many overtime shifts do you have to do just to meet your daily expenses, your monthly bills? With this business, it can give you 6 times more than one of your shift as a nurse. And I didn't have to clock in for somebody else. I didn't have to go to the hospital. I didn't have to do manual labor to do that. I'm at home spending time with my kids, and I am able to earn at home, at the comfort of my home. If I'm traveling, I'm still earning because I can bring this business anywhere. It's not location based. So why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? When a business is making you work smarter for your money instead of harder, as a nurse and as an immigrant, we came here in the US. We always say we want the American dream. And yet, what we do is slave two to three jobs just to achieve that American dream. But have we achieved it? Is that really the American dream? To not have to with our without any time with our family that we brought here in the US to enjoy our time with them, to have a comfortable life, and yet we have zero time to spend time with them. It is not, we have to find another option as an immigrant, because being an employee is not going to give us that financial freedom. And when you have financial freedom, that is when you get the time. The financial buys you that time because it buys you the system that gives you that time. And this business gives you that. So it is no brainer to start something, to have an option besides just being an employee. It doesn't matter how good you are. It doesn't matter how exceptional you are as an employee. You are still employed by somebody else, and your employment depends on that business. If that business go bankrupt, there you go, you don't have a job. If that business owner did not like you, they can fire you right then and there. It doesn't matter if you're at the top of your league. It's their decision. It's not yours. If that if there's a layoff that happens, there goes your income. Then your whole life that you have built, the family that you have, now is being put into jeopardy, in a jeopardy. Now you have to worry about, are you going to have money to cover your bills? Are you going to have money to put a roof over your family's head? Which is a lot of us immigrants worry about. We don't want to go back to the life that we had back home because we left because we don't want to struggle. We want a better life, and yet we are not living a better life. And this business opens up so many doors for us. And it's the answer, honestly, to all of the prayers that I've had, and all of the questions that I have had. Is this really it? Am I going to work all the way till I'm retired or past retirement because I can't afford anything? Am I going to have enough retirement if I continue to just be a nurse? The answer is no, you won't have enough. With the cost of living that's going up, you need to have a second stream of income, or that will give you as a primary source of income that will give you that financial freedom and the time freedom. And this is it. This is it. I'm not scamming you, and I'm not, I mean, there's my name. My full name is there. I'm sharing you my life. I'm sharing you my family. You can go to my website. You can see my family there. I'm sharing all of that because it has been a life changing for me and my family as a nurse, as a mom, and as an immigrant. It's been a life changing, and my eyes had opened up to entrepreneurship that I didn't even know I can do as a nurse. you know so if you are even curious, even a grain of curiosity, be inspired and be empowered to look into this business, because it's been an answer to almost a quarter of a million of people, and that is a data that is not lying. And you can look me up if you want to see if I'm a real person, if I'm a legit person. My nursing license, it's a public information. Anybody can look that up. I'm in the Texas Board of Nursing. If you want to look me up to make sure that I am not, a scammer, I will not put my name into something that, you know, I've worked hard for my name. I've worked hard for my license. I'm not about to put my name and my license into jeopardy, um, just to earn an income online. No. So it's been a life changing, and I will never ever look back. So if you guys are curious, do the same exact thing.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that. Like, those are very powerful words that you say, and you touch so many things. Like one of the things that you touch, like you are making, you can make, like 6 times what your current job is, and that is true. I just before this live, I had another interview that I do every once a week, and it's about job quitters, and she said the same thing. Like she made, 6 times what she was making before, with thanks to this business, and she doesn't have to work so many hours like she was doing, before. So now she's fully present as what you're working towards to, um, fully present to her kids, and she does the business, just because, any time pockets that she has, she doesn't have to do it, like working like 12 hours or 8 hours, to be able to build that financial income, and that's the beauty of this business. The other thing that you mentioned there was that, a lot of immigrants come to these countries, like either Canada or United States, for a better life. Um, but like you mentioned, when they come here, it's the totally opposite. It's not as they thought that it was going to be. Many of them, they cannot even work on their field. They have to do something else. And like you mentioned, some of them, they have to work like 2 3 jobs to be able to uh, have that, be able to pay for the bills, be able to pay for the roof where they're staying, for their family. um, and when you talk about this opportunity is giving them, that chance to be able to see that there is something more for them, you know like you mentioned, before you only had one time to spend with your kids, or as a family, bonding. But now you have more time to spend with your family because of this business. You were able to cut some days, and have more time to be with your kids and your husband, something that before you were not able to. So this is one of the other things that, for all these audience that are watching on the other side, this is a great opportunity for you, where you're able to be fully present for your kids. You can start this on the side, like many of us, we have started on the side, but that plan B on the side, it will become your plan A, because this is start very small, but it's compound. Start small, but it keeps increasing, and that's why, you're able to make 6 times what you were making, and even more. I mean,
Yes.
we have members in our community that are actually making 6 figures per month. So just to give
Mhm.
you an idea. So, but yeah, this is not a rich quick scheme.
Mhm.
It takes hard work at the beginning, because you start into business. You need to learn about the business, so you need to do your training. But once you have it going on, you will start seeing, like I mentioned, it's compound, so it keeps increasing. And eventually, if you decide to leave your job, you can leave your job and just to focus on this fully. Like many of the members of community have done, they have left their job, and now this is all they do. And you mentioned something else, like the portability of the business.
Mhm.
uh, that's something that, also attracted me, because I was looking for something that I love to travel, so
Yeah.
I was looking for something that I can take my business anywhere with me. I don't have to be located in one place. And this business allows you to do that. And because of the automated service that we mentioned before. same thing.
Mhm.
The business keep working. It doesn't matter where you are going, you know. All you need is a telephone or a laptop and an internet connection, and that's all you need to be able to do your business. So
Yeah.
yeah, it is an amazing opportunity. Take advantage of this digital world, because this digital world allows a lot of people to be able to achieve those dreams that before it was harder for them to achieve. It's not that they couldn't do it, but it was harder. Now it's easier to do it, you know, in a shorter span than what it was in the past. We are blessed that, you know, we're in this new digital area, something that our parents, for example, didn't have that opportunity. So their option for them was either to work, you know, to go to a job and start working, or if they started a business, they have to work really hard to be able to build that business. But nowadays, thanks to the digital world, it's not as hard to be able to achieve your dreams and be able to live that kind of lifestyle that you always dream of. So um, I hope so you get inspired with Sofia story and her journey. You know, she shared a lot of her insight, and you can see, you know, like her story, you know, like being a nurse, you know, they make good money, but at the same time, she was sacrificing some of her family time. So she didn't want to do that. It was okay when they were just a couple, but now they have a family. That's a different story. So you see what is your priorities, you know, in life. And another thing that she touched is, and I do agree with her, is do you really see yourself working until the end? For example, here in Canada, 67 years old. And that might not even be enough, because, you know, when you retire, actually you get less than what you were doing, making, you know, before. So, so you really need to take in consideration that, like she mentioned, you know, things are, prices are increasing, you know, because of the inflation and all that. So you might not have enough to retire. So we see a lot of people, for example, when I travel to the US, people that, you know, should be retired and is still working because they don't have enough money to be able to retire, so they need to keep working. And that's not a kind of lifestyle that you want. You want to be able to really enjoy life, especially now, you know. So this is the best moment to do it. So we are here just to show you that opportunity to take action, because the time is now. It's not tomorrow. uh, you know, the time was in the past, but it didn't happen in the past, but the time is now. So this is your second opportunity. So if you're watching us today, this is the time to for you to look for something. And what we offer here is a free info session. You got nothing to lose, you know. It's more to gain, because you get to see if this is a business opportunity that might work for you or not. We also have, you know, a community, Facebook private community group, where you're getting invited, and then you can see more success stories from members of our community, and that way you can decide, you know, if this business is for you or not. So yeah, so we have a comment here from Larnie Pangasian Wood. She said,
That's my mentor.
watching from Texas, amazing business partners, real people, real resource. Thank you for your comment.
Hi, Ate.
Yeah, so this is the best time. Take advantage of this digital world, because really it will change your life, and that's what we are trying to show here. You know, open your eyes that there is options for you to be able to have a better lifestyle, where you can have take care of your health, where you can be fully present for your kids, and build that financial stability. Okay, saying that, we want to say thank you to everyone that has watched the live with us today. For those catching the replay, thank you so much. To our followers, thank you so much for being part of our journey, for believing in us, and for engaging with our content. Uh, we do have some like emojis here from Rafael Alves, English literacy, and Melissa Soli. So thank you so much for your like and heart emojis. Now, if you want to learn how you can start your online business and start earning online, all you have to do is register in any of the websites that appear on the screen with your name and email address, and we'll send you that invitation to watch the webinar. So it happens every Tuesdays and Thursdays, 5 p.m. PST, and you are CST, correct?
CS. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 7 p.m. CST and 8 p.m. EST. So if you want to catch the live webinar, or if you want to catch the replay, in this case will be the replay before tomorrow's live webinar, you can catch that one. And so you can register, and you will have the link to register for the live webinar and the link to watch the replay. So you can hear the stories of the panelists and also learn, how this online business plan works. And now if you want to learn a little bit more further, then you pay the $149 US, which is 30 days refundable as long as you don't do the coaching call. And there you can see more in detail about what this online business
Mhm.
opportunity offers you. And then you can decide at that moment if this is a good opportunity for you or if it's not. So if it is for you, you proceed to the next step. If it's not, you get your money back. So nothing to lose, more to gain. So we really encourage you to see for yourself, that this is a good opportunity. I mean, we heard the story from Sofia. She has a very good profession, and like we talk about, being a legit business by doing her taxes, and what this business has changed for life in terms of being more fully present with her family. So thank you again, Sofia, for being here and for sharing your stories. Very inspiring. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed it. And I hope some of you take a leap of faith and take a leap of faith for you.
Yes. So thank you, everyone. And until tomorrow for another topic and another guest. So we want to wish everyone a happy and blessed Wednesday for those who are on Wednesday, and a happy and blessed Thursday for those who are on Thursday, and a happy, blessed week ahead for everyone. So thank you, everyone. Thank you again, Sophia. And until tomorrow. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for watching. God
Bye
bless you.
bye.